We need more babies. Why aren't you producing any? Me personally? Go ahead and answer for both yourself and women in general. It's the economy, stupid. No, you simple idiot. Affordability is a myth. That's what I'm saying. The idea that one could financially sustain a family in this economy without developing night terrors about insurance premiums and the price of fresh fruit sounds mythical. You're getting ahead of yourself. Newborns can't even have fruit. If you don't know that, you're a terrible mother. I'm not a mother. I know. That's the problem. You haven't produced a baby. Babies become toddlers who turn into kids, who grow into teenagers, who wind up adults who have to live here in the world. And, well, I don't live it here myself, so there's that to consider. Don't be dark. You're getting dangerously close to unpleasant territory there. Sorry, what can you offer me? Okay, so you're not supposed to ask what I can do for you. You're supposed to ask what you can do for me. Did you not pay attention in history class? You're the one who wants me to grow a human. No, the supply is dwindling. If you're running low on humans, maybe you should stop asking people to self-deport. We're talking about you right now, okay? Well, what would I do about childcare? What? If I have the baby you want me to have, don't you want to stay home with the baby? Even if I did, I assume it will want to live inside walls and eat and stuff, so I'll have to go to work. You're not going to breastfeed? You should really breastfeed. Well, if I'm going to be a self-contained production factory, I'm going to have to eat. You should really have a husband who makes enough money to support the 5 of you. 5 of us? You look like you're a good ilk, replacement, and a spare. Do you know it costs $19,000 on average to give birth in the United States? Less if it tears out of you, more if it has to be torn out. But you don't pay that much if you have health insurance. So are you going to make that more accessible? What if we made it more expensive? Why would you do that? It's what's happening. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That does not inspire me to procreate. What? I should have to shell out because you can't remember to wrap it up? That really escalated. What if I told you we're getting rid of the Department of Education? I'd be filled with a sense of impending doom. Does that mean you're ovulating? Maybe. What about schools? What about them? Have they gotten better since I went to them? Well, that depends. In a test scores sense, they have gotten markedly worse. People are writing think pieces about it. Cool. But they make bulletproof backpacks now. Aren't you guys supposed to be getting more conservative as you age? Why would I do that? Because I did? Because that's how it works. No, it's not. Yes, it is. I actually think that was just you settling into your ways and being able to afford property. No, everyone eventually realizes that they may be socially liberal, but they're fiscally conservative. And the truth is, we all vote with our wallets at the end of the day. Your wallet voted for a guy who doesn't understand how tariffs work. I'm not saying I voted for him. Don't put words in my mouth. I don't have to say who I voted for, but the people who did vote for him voted for a guy with a gold ceiling. Can you blame them? Yes. I used to watch that show. I liked it when they did it with the celebrities. You spent $11 billion bombing Iran in the first 6 days of war. Says who? The Pentagon. So it was probably much more. Well, freedom isn't free. Neither is insulin. That part. I don't see how the two things are related. Their nuanced relationship is actually just one of many reasons why it's impossible to be fiscally conservative and socially liberal at the same time. There's nothing fiscally conservative about war. What are you guys talking about? The idea of being fiscally conservative and socially liberal simultaneously? Which is when you don't want to offend your gay friends. You love your gay friends, but you also want to pay lower taxes. No, it's when you don't have any gay friends. You harbor a grudge against your gay neighbors and you believe for some unfathomable reason that you will one day become yourself a billionaire, so you vote for them to pay less taxes. I'm having a really hard time with ageism at work. Oh, I totally feel you. My boss keeps calling me kiddo and telling me I can't handle a raise because people in their 20s are bad at saving money, which... No, that's not what ageism is. Ageism only affects people who belong to AARP. No, it can affect anyone with naturally gray hair, which is not me. I didn't dye this. I'm not gonna dye. I'm gonna embrace the gray when the time comes, which is not now. Isn't ageism just any sort of age-based discrimination? So, like, it could affect all of us? No. Ageism is when someone expects you to be able to convert a Word document to a PDF. I mean, that's literally impossible unless you graduated high school in the last 15 years. You guys aren't having enough babies. Personally, I actually don't have any babies. Some of my friends have babies, and that's ideal. That's the ideal amount of babies for me. I like buying them outfits. I'm not interested in planning for their future. Exactly. No one is planning for the future when there won't be enough babies. Enough for what? For society. Weird. Because society is why I'm not having babies. What about society? It's crumbling because people aren't having enough babies. Why are you so worried about what we do with our reproductive organs? The birth rate has halved since the 1950s. Why aren't you worried about who's going to take care of you when you're older? So we can plan on our kids doing that? I wouldn't count on it if I were you. More importantly, if I have kids, who's going to take care of my kids when they're kids? You will? Right, but when I work. For example, why don't you take a few years off and stay home with the kids? Because capitalism, I'm pulling myself up from my bootstraps and whatnot. You could watch her kids. Would you do that if I had kids? Why doesn't she do it? I also have to work. Plus, I'm still trying to figure out where we're gonna put you eventually. So that's consuming a lot of my brain space. Well, I can't do it. I'm retired. Yeah. See, I just don't think it makes sense for me to procreate. And we haven't even touched on the space billionaires of it all. Why does that matter? You want us to bring babies into a world that those with the most means, ostensibly the best lives, are currently trying to leave? Only for like 11 minutes though, right? That's definitely just phase one though. They know something. That this place is becoming uninhabitable? We all know that. Fine. I will watch your kids. What? Society needs me to have grandchildren, okay? Times are tough. I had to get a second job. What's the job? I'm renting out my guest house. Okay, but what's the second job you were talking about? I'm renting out my guest house. That's not a job. Yes, it is. Where do I apply? I think I'd be great at owning extra property. It's actually really hard. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Well, yeah. I also wouldn't want my worst enemy to own property or generate passive income. It's not passive. I had to take pictures for the listing. And the other day, I had to call a plumber. See? Yeah, I am qualified to do that. But you didn't, because no one wants to work anymore. No, because I don't own extra property. I don't own property, period, full stop, but I do have a second job. What do you do? I'm a consultant. So you're a freelancer? Yeah, yes, I am. Do you like it? What do you do? Retail. Yeah. It's better than that. My dad died a month ago, and these are some of the things that have happened since then. Number one, when we went to the mortuary to pick up his death certificate, my mother started taking pictures of me in the parking lot, and I said, why are you doing that? And she said, you always complain that you're the one that takes all the pictures at the family events, and so there are never any cute pictures of you. And I said, yes, that's true. I do take all the pictures at all the family events, and so there are never any cute pictures of me. And she said, well, this is a family event. Number two, my grandparents published an obituary with a picture of the wrong son at the top. My dad was in the picture that they chose, but he was cropped out. Number three, we found a candle at his apartment. It was labeled well-being. It had never been lit. Clearly that's where he went wrong. So I decided to pack it and bring it back to LA with me. And then at the airport in the security line, they pulled my bag aside and they started going through it, and they picked out the candle and they tested it to make sure it wasn't a bomb. It passed. More than one person reassured me that at least he died doing what he loved, which is true. He did drink himself to death. We killed the supreme leader of Iran. I didn't kill anyone. We, as a nation. ICE confirmed a measles outbreak in their largest concentration camp in Texas. Did they call it a concentration camp? Is everybody just saying that now? I know, not officially, but right. Lindsey Graham says it's lame that Congress even thought about limiting the president's ability to wage undeclared war. Lindsey Graham is still alive? I was gonna say in office. They didn't. What? Ultimately, they didn't decide to stop the president from doing anything. The government is fighting with an AI company. Whose side are we on? Actually, the AI company, I think. That feels weird. I know. Looks like the entertainment industry is taking one small step for mergers and one giant step for monopolies. Does that at least mean streaming service subscriptions will get cheaper? I cannot imagine that that will happen. A senator broke the hand of a Marine veteran. He was helping Capitol Police remove the Marine veteran from a Senate hearing. You can hear a snapping sound in the video. Oh. They subpoenaed Pam Bondi. Cool. Do you think she'll go to jail? Not now. There's a new supreme leader. Where? Iran. Right. Who is it? The last guy's son. You're looking for a man in finance? I also want him to be 6'5". And you're looking in finance? You want to date a banker? Honestly, overrated. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Plus, I heard Soho House is getting overcrowded now anyway. He said he's a day trader. You don't want to do that. Why not? Because protein powder isn't a complete breakfast, Tito's isn't that special, and he's probably just after your Adderall prescription. I take Vyvanse. Do you like it? I do. Yeah, very much so. I don't do drugs. Your recycling bin would beg to differ. Wine is not a drug. It's good for your heart. So is grape juice. But more importantly, if you're not careful, you could wind up sitting on a Craigslist couch listening to a man talk about his $15,000 sound system. So he's into music? He's into his sound system.